Yes, sir. Yes,
It
sir.
said if you want to identify yourself.
My name is Sid. I am from California. I live in Connecticut. College student.
Which one are you though?
I'm a female character
Oh,
here.
so you're the person right here.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
don't want to
cool.
say who I am. It's a meme, but
And
if you look on the top of my head, you'll get it.
okay.
Let's go.
So Sid, I know you watched the video today, with Earl and his
Yes.
mom. So what'd you think initially, like when you were watching it? And like you read the essay too, and just with both of those in mind, what are your initial thoughts?
Well, first of all, I think the form and how they did the whole event was very cool. It's really cool to see a mom and son talk about these very important issues in the United States. And I mean, I'm not personally a Black American, but based off my history knowledge and other things and other experiences, I can really kind of understand what they're talking about to a certain extent, and it was very interesting.
Yeah. Zazo, I know you like just recently read the essay.
Right.
And like you've actually been rapping a lot, right? Like with Shock
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah. So I've been
like,
I've been rapping pretty much every day. So this is just like the perfect thing. And the essay was it really makes me reflect on maybe this is why I am how I am today. I can go back and look at my family history and see why I might move the way I move. It just makes me think about that. So yeah, that's what I got from that.
Dude, honestly, I think about Shock a lot because like when he raps, like I mean, shit, we were just like when I was in Maryland before I left DC, like when he was rapping, he like gets really emotional, and like especially when he talks about like his dad, and that stuck out to me a lot. But like with the video, they started talking about I mean, this is kind of going right into it, but they talk about like the concept of woke being heavily saturated, and like because I know Justin's not here, Zazo. Justin's not here, but like
I can get him in here.
No, that's fine. But like I know he likes Earl's sweatshirt, and
Yeah, he fucks with him heavily actually.
Yeah, Justin's been into like that stuff lately, and he's growing up right now, and this is what him and his mom were talking about, like the internet. Like people literally are growing up on the internet. Like here we are talking on CS:GO right now.
Yeah, I mean, I've grown up. I mean, this is my life. Like, what am I trying to say? Like, yeah, I agree with that. That's what I'm trying to say. I agree with what you just said.
So, I can speak upon this from a little bit more personal viewpoint with the internet and the impact it has on my life. Not a lot of people know this, but I left California at the age of 14 to move to Japan, for example, right? And obviously, I was moving to an environment and that was very foreign to me. I visited Japan on and off for a couple years to see family and stuff, but like never lived there, never planned on living there, especially at age 14 in the circumstances that it went down. But the internet was a tool, definitely for me to stay connected with people I knew back home and to even branch out and meet new people who might even be in my situation, or people who I could actually still have friends maybe in that scenario where I get thrown into such a foreign place and where it might be harder for me to even develop connections and friendships like that. So it was a tool that helped me a lot in my life.
And so like on connections and stuff like that, like I know like Zazo, Justin was really into Loiter Squad, right? And like Earl was on that, and
yeah, that's how I learned about it too.
Yeah, so talking about like connections and stuff, that's how a lot of people like make their way. Like that's how Earl made his way, and he was talking about that. And Joey Badass, I know y'all both know Joey Badass, and Kendrick, right? One of the things that you hear people talk about a lot is that they rap about this and that, but the majority of their fan base is white, right? That's what people are always talking about. So like when you have someone like Earl who's like growing up in the eyes of like who America and who is that, right? he's growing up on like with them, he's growing up with people's eyes on him. So yeah, I don't know, I just thought that was important to bring up. But yeah, it was. Oh yeah, Sid?
So when you said eyes on him, you're referring to who exactly?
Like the people that are interested in him, right? Like I said, the people that are interested in Kendrick and people that are
Uh huh.
interested in Joey, who a lot of the time is stereotype. Oh, their fan base is actually white.
Ah, I see. I
Um,
Yeah.
see.
and so that's like, what impact does that have on him now? Because what is he rapping about now, right? And how
Mhm.
open can he be about that? And like obviously you guys know where I'm going with this, because this is what I
Yeah.
was talking about, is that rapping is like a way of healing and a way of like talking about things that you can't really just talk about in the open. And I don't know if y'all have
Right.
seen this movie Loose. Have y'all seen the movie Loose?
Nah, I haven't.
So it's about this kid. He's like this black kid who goes to like a school, obviously, but like his he was adopted, right? And he like lived in this made up African country that the movie made. And
Mm-hmm.
he was adopted by like white Americans, right? So like it was like he was adopted
Right.
by like my parents, for example. And
Right.
so he wrote this essay in his class,
Uh huh.
about like talking about Franz Fanon. I think that's his name, but he's like a revolutionary scholar type thing, and his I haven't done enough reading on him, to be honest. But the teacher in his class was like, "You can't be writing about this. This is violent, like revolutionary stuff." And so and so goes on, but basically the end of the movie is kind of sad, because he's like a really smart kid, valedictorian of the school, star of the track team, and people at school are like whoa, like what are you talking about now? Because he starts talking about all this stuff that
Mm-hmm.
his teacher, who is a black woman, is like, you're not supposed to talk about this stuff, right? And
Right.
the even his classmates get the teacher fired, right? I mean, that's what the whole movie's about. So it's like you can't talk about this stuff. And so I don't know, it's just
Dang.
interesting watching this YouTube video. This is the stuff that Earl raps about, and boom, he just like, this YouTube video is about all this stuff, financial
Mm-hmm.
systems, anti-blackness and
Right.
stuff like that. But
Right. It's like, I think the video does a good job addressing those problems, which, they're very hard topics to discuss in America, because, you're drawing, like the video just says, you're drawing those racial lines, right? So once you start breaking things down by race, people tend to push back on it. Like, why are you
Yeah.
talking about this? Why is this relevant? Right?
Mhm.
And we're scared to talk about it, as Americans, because it's an ugly side of our history. We got to be honest with it. We set up these systems to be oppressive towards a certain group, and we still haven't fixed those main root problems, right? And I think that's, they did a good job of discussing what exactly those root problems are, and ways we can maybe somehow get to fixing them. But
mm,
obviously they even address it. Might not
Yeah.
even happen, so
Yeah. Yeah. I think that it can like talking about it is definitely a great thing, especially because like the truth is so hard to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And like,
yeah.
yeah, it really just like helps expose all the issues, and makes everyone really think about that shit. So
yeah. But
like,
yeah, the video does a good job of that. And they were even talking about how like at the end, like the dude, says, I don't know if you got to this part, but like Sid, at the end, like the one of the people in the audience, uh, talks about how he studies like, you know, music
mm,
and
Mhm.
Afro-pessimism, like under the rubric of Afro-pessimism,
Right.
and he talks about like Earl like coding his music, and
Right.
obviously he doesn't do it like, he's not, oh, I'm coding my music. No, that's not.
Right.
He's just writing individually, right? He's writing on
Right.
an individual level, and it just gets coded. So it was interesting because I also sent y'all that Young Thug video, um,
yeah,
because he is able to say the same things, but he says it in different ways to evoke emotion, and some people can understand that better than others. mumble rap? Is it really mumble rap? I don't know. Just stuff like that.
Which I never ever thought about listening to Young Thug, and that video is super detailed. Honestly, it's kind of crazy how much effect words can have. Honestly, that's what it makes me think of.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I really appreciate y'all hopping in and having this conversation. I'm glad y'all enjoyed the video and you know what what I had to say in my essay, and so yeah, really appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thanks for
My
having me,
pleasure,
man.
man. Thank
Oh.
you. Yeah.
All right, fellas.